Talks between Pakistan and Afghanistan in Istanbul have hit a stalemate, as the Afghan Taliban delegation reportedly refused to take verifiable action against militant groups, including the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, operating from Afghan soil. The two-day dialogue, which carried on late into Sunday, failed to find common ground on how to end cross-border terrorism. After nearly 9 hours of negotiations, Pakistani officials said they had presented their final position, demanding concrete and verifiable steps from Kabul to dismantle terror sanctuaries and prevent infiltration. A senior security official told reporters that Pakistan had made it clear the ongoing patronage of terrorists by the Afghan Taliban was unacceptable. He described the Taliban's responses as illogical and opposite to ground realities, and hinted that the Afghan side might be acting under someone else's agenda, a thinly veiled reference to India. That suspicion was amplified when, during the Istanbul process itself, Indian forces allegedly violated the ceasefire in the Lipa sector of Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Locals reported an intense exchange of fire, though there was no official confirmation of losses. Sources say any further progress in the talks now depends on what they called the positive attitude of the Afghan Taliban. Earlier on Sunday, both sides exchanged written responses in the presence of Turkish and Qatari mediators. While there was early optimism, it quickly faded as the Taliban delegation declined to provide written assurances, a move Islamabad interpreted as unwillingness to act against the TTP. Pakistani negotiators also presented what they described as photographic and documentary evidence of militant networks operating inside Afghanistan, including TTP and BLA figures, as well as identity papers of infiltrators caught at the border. At one stage, the Afghan delegation offered to arrange direct talks between Pakistan and the TTP, an offer Islamabad flatly rejected, reiterating that it would never negotiate with a terrorist group and that it was the Taliban's duty to end their support for them. Echoing Defense Minister Khwaja Asif's earlier remarks, Pakistan's team told the Afghan side that Islamabad was ready to pay any price to neutralize the threat for the safety of its people, warning that ordinary Afghans would ultimately suffer because of the Taliban regime's intransigence. Meanwhile, even as talks were underway in Turkey, Pakistan's military reported 2 major infiltration attempts from Afghan territory into Kurram and North Waziristan, incidents that, according to ISPR, cast doubts on the intentions of the Afghan interim government. The Istanbul talks followed a ceasefire mediated by Qatar on the 19th of October, which ended a week of deadly border clashes. Turkey has since expanded its mediation role, with Qatar acting as guarantor and facilitator. The Pakistani delegation included senior officials from the ISI, the Directorate of Military Operations, and the Foreign Office. The Afghan team was led by Deputy Interior Minister Maulawi Rahatullah Najib, alongside prominent Taliban figures Anas Haqqani, Suhail Shaheen, and Abdul Qahar Borki. Diplomatic sources say mediators are now working to prevent a complete breakdown in communication, but with both sides standing firm, the prospect of a breakthrough appears increasingly remote. For more on this, find the Dawn story linked in description.